Parents. Seagal's father, Samuel Seagal, was a Jewish high school math teacher, and his mother, Patricia, was a medical technician of English and Irish descent. Seagal has described his early upbringing as modest, and he was raised in Michigan before moving to California. Seagal moved to Japan in the late 1960s after high school, where he continued to hone his skills in Aikido, eventually becoming one of the first foreigners to run his own dojo in Japan. His time in Japan was formative, both in terms of his martial arts development and his cultural immersion. Seagal's early interest in martial arts came from watching action films and his desire to seek deeper meaning and discipline in his life, which eventually led him to pursue Aikido and philosophy. Aikido. Seagal's expertise in Aikido became central to his film persona. Aikido focuses on using an opponent's movements and energy against them, which allowed Seagal to stand out from other action stars who relied more on brute force or traditional martial arts like karate or kung fu. Seagal is known for his philosophy of nonviolence, despite being known for his on-screen toughness. His Aikido teachings emphasize fluid, graceful movements that redirect aggression without causing permanent harm to opponents. He spent years studying martial arts masters in Japan and earned a 7th Dan black belt in Aikido, which is a high rank within the martial art. Seagal's film career during the 1990s allowed him to solidify his status as a martial arts movie icon, with many of his films becoming major hits. Above the Law, 1988, directed by Andrew Davis, this film marked Seagal's first role as a protagonist. He played Nico Toscani, a tough cop with a mysterious past. The film introduced audiences to his style of action and martial arts, as well as his no-nonsense attitude. Hard to Kill, 1990, a tale of a cop who survives being shot and left for dead and seeks vengeance against those who wronged him. While the movie was not critically acclaimed, it helped to further establish Seagal's action star status. Under Siege, 1992, one of his most successful films, Under Siege not only brought Seagal widespread recognition but also was his only movie to receive significant critical praise. Seagal plays a former Navy SEAL turned cook who must rescue a U.S. Navy battleship overtaken by terrorists. The film grossed over $156 million worldwide, and Seagal's character became iconic for his calm demeanor in the face of danger. Under Siege 2. Dark Territory, 1995, a sequel to his previous success, the film saw Seagal's character, Casey Ryback, again take on terrorists, this time on a train. Though it wasn't as successful as the first film, it continued Seagal's run of solid action films. On Deadly Ground, 1994, notable for being Seagal's directorial debut, this film saw Seagal play an environmental activist who uncovers a conspiracy. The film is often cited for its preachy environmental themes, and it received mixed reviews, but it was one of Seagal's more ambitious projects. The Glimmer Man, 1996, this film was a departure from his usual roles, with Seagal playing a former FBI agent who teams up with a cop, played by Keenan Ivory Wayans, to solve a series of murders. Though not as commercially successful, it showcased Seagal's ability to adapt to different action styles. Exit Wounds, 2001, this marked Seagal's return to the mainstream after his direct-to-video slump. The film, which co-starred DMX, was more successful than many of his recent films, with critics noting that it was a more energetic and modern take on his usual action films. By the early 2000s, Seagal's film career began to struggle, as his films increasingly went direct-to-video. This decline was attributed to a combination of factors. Changing tastes in action cinema. Action films started to favor younger stars like Bruce Willis, Vin Diesel, and The Rock, and Seagal's style of martial arts-based action was no longer as popular. Public persona. Seagal's off-screen behavior, including reports of arrogance and problems with co-stars, led to a diminished reputation in Hollywood. Repetitive roles. Critics argued that Seagal had become typecast and was unwilling to adapt to changing trends in filmmaking, offering audiences similar characters in every movie. In the 2000s, Seagal transitioned to television. His most notable show was Steven Seagal, Lawman, 2009-2014, a reality TV series where Seagal portrayed himself as a reserve deputy sheriff. The show was based on his role working in law enforcement in Jefferson Parish, Louisiana. While the show ran for multiple seasons, it also faced significant criticism for its portrayal of Seagal as a heroic figure in the police force, and some questioned the authenticity of the incidents depicted on the show. Russian citizenship. In 2016, Seagal was granted Russian citizenship by President Vladimir Putin. Seagal had long been an admirer of Putin, even calling him a friend and a great leader. His connection to Russia and his political alignment with Putin has been controversial, especially considering the strained relations between Russia and the West. Diplomatic efforts. Seagal has occasionally served as an unofficial ambassador of sorts, participating in Russian media and even traveling to Russia to meet with government officials. His support for Putin has led to his being banned from entering Ukraine due to his views on Russian foreign policy. Marriages and family. Seagal has been married 4 times. His first marriage was to Miyako Fujitani, a fellow Aikido instructor with whom he has 2 children. He later married Kelly LeBrock, an actress known for her role in Weird Science. They have 3 children together. His subsequent marriages to Erica Coco and Savannah Seagal added to his family count, with Seagal having 7 children in total. Sexual harassment allegations. Seagal has faced multiple accusations of sexual harassment and inappropriate behavior from women in the entertainment industry. One of the more prominent allegations came from actress Portia de Rossi, who accused Seagal of making unwanted sexual advances during an audition. Seagal has consistently denied all allegations, and no criminal charges were ever filed. Legal issues and criticism. In addition to sexual harassment allegations, Seagal has been criticized for his exaggerated claims about his past, including misleading statements about his martial arts prowess, his supposed ties to the CIA, and his supposed military service. Aside from his acting and martial arts career, Seagal is a musician and a proficient guitarist. He has released multiple blues albums, including Songs from the Crystal Cave, 2005, and Mojo Priest, 2006. Seagal plays a variety of instruments but is particularly known for his guitar playing. He has performed with famous musicians and has a notable passion for the blues genre. Despite his controversies and a sharp decline in mainstream recognition, Seagal remains a cult figure in action cinema. His films, particularly from the 1990s, have maintained a loyal following. Fans often admire his unique martial arts style, stoic demeanor, and distinctive brand of action. Direct-to-video success. In the 2010s, Seagal returned to direct-to-video films, continuing to make action movies that appeal to his core audience. Some of his more recent releases include Contract to Kill, 2016, The Patriot, 2017, and General Commander, 2019. Steven Seagal's career has been a roller coaster ride, filled with highs, such as his early action film successes, and lows, including controversies, legal issues, and a downturn in his career. Despite his fall from grace in Hollywood, Seagal remains an important figure in martial arts, both as a practitioner and a cinematic presence, known for his unique style and influence on action films in the 1980s and 1990s.